الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Welcome to another episode of React to Qur'an. With us today we have Brother Mohammed Hijab, mashallah, with his bright pink top. Mashallah, suits him though, mashallah. You know how is that?
That's alright, man.
Yeah? It's not bad, innit? Yeah, so what we're going to do today, guys, is, as you guys know, we do a lot of reaction videos. We usually react to videos, etc. But, like I say always, what's the best thing to react to? Obviously, the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have the Qur'an in front of us. What we're going to do today, and what we do on most of our episodes, is we're going to open a random chapter. And from that chapter, we're going to get some reflections. Personally, myself, and you yourself as well. And personally, you guys as well who are watching. So make sure you get your Qur'an on standby. You know, anything can happen any second, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do, inshallah. And then straight after that, what we do is, we have Tafsir ibn Kathir. We go to that specific verse and understand the tafsir of it, yeah, and derive more understanding, which helps us to, you know, have more reactions because we learn new things. So yeah, who opened it last time? Was it me or you?
I opened it last time.
Okay, it's my turn. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's go. Bismillah. Okay, and I'm going to pick this verse.
Okay.
What number is that?
This is verse 49.
49, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bismillah. But as for those who deny our signs, torment will afflict them because they used to transgress. Say, O Muhammad, to the disbelievers, I say not to you that I possess the treasures of Allah, nor that I have knowledge of the unseen. And I say not to you, I am an angel. I follow only that which is revealed to me. Say, are the blind man and who he sees equal? Will you not then think?
SubhanAllah.
Should we stop there or should we?
That's good.
So far that's good, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your first reaction to that?
So what I find really incredible about this surah, Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6 of the Qur'an in particular, is that it makes an intellectual case, a rational case for the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay.
Now, in the beginning of the surah, if you read verse 21, I think it says, وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بآياته إنه لا يفلح الظالمون. Who is worse than the one who basically lies who belies the verse of Allah, or basically rejects his verses, that they will not be successful, or the oppressors will not be successful.
Okay.
In this verse, a very similar message is being put forward.
Okay, what is that?
So it's telling us here that, but as for those who deny our signs, torment will be afflicted to them because they used to transgress. And then it says, say, O Muhammad, I say not to you that I possess the treasures of the unseen, the ghaib, nor that I have knowledge of the unseen. And I say to you, I'm an angel. So he's not saying that he's an angel. He's not saying these things. He's not saying that he has the unseen. Okay. He's not making these claims. I follow only that which is revealed to me. Okay. And so he says.
Okay, so this is a claim that we usually do. We make when we're giving dawah.
Yeah.
We say, how do you prove the Prophet Muhammad was a messenger?
Yeah.
You know, we have three options. Either he was liar, either he was deluded, or he was speaking the truth. Right? Mm-hmm. So, shall I quickly go through them?
Yeah.
So basically, how do we know he wasn't a liar? Because if somebody's lying, they lie because of there's a reason behind it. They're trying to gain something. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They're doing it for some reason.
And he's saying here clearly he doesn't possess the treasures of Allah.
Exactly. Not only that, but when the Quraysh came and offered him to stop preaching this message and gave him, they said, we'll give you whatever you like, camels, women, etc., make you our leader. He said, no, I will not stop preaching. So that shows he can't be a liar. So some people might come and say, oh, he was a deceiver. I mean, not deceiver, deluded. But if a person's deluded, he will use everything in his opportunity to claim his prophethood. So when the Prophet ﷺ's son died, the moon eclipsed, and his companions came to him and said, oh Rasulullah, this happened because of your son. A deluded man would have used that to his best advantage and say, yes, I'm a prophet. It happened because of me. But instead, he kind of rebuked them softly and said, look, the moon don't eclipse for nobody's death.
Yes.
So the other option is that he's a truthful person. And how do you know he's truthful? Because he said to them, if I was to tell you there's an army coming behind this mountain, would you believe me? He said, we know you to be the truthful. How could we deny?
SubhanAllah.
And he said, I'm telling you I'm the messenger of Allah, and you're denying. And this is a form of signs, like I said. But as for those who deny our signs, trauma, because they're clearly saying, we know you to be the truthful. If you told us there's an army behind this mountain, we'll believe you. But when the Prophet said, I'm telling you I'm the messenger of Allah, the God will deny it.
Because here Allah's arming the Prophet Muhammad
Yeah.
with the justification of why he couldn't have had any incentive to be basically claiming to be a prophet when he's not actually a prophet.
Yeah.
So this is one verse, and there's another verse which starts in a very similar way in the same surah, which I think is verse 93, where it says, وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ افترى على الله كذبا وقال أوحي إلي ولم يوحى إليه شيء. Who is worse than the one who fabricates a lie against Allah and says revelation has been revealed to me and no revelation has been revealed to him. So this is, subhanAllah, if just consider a person who's claiming to be a prophet and he's making these kinds of claims, he's really damning himself if he's saying that, who's worse than the one who claims to be a prophet but is not actually a prophet. So in other words, it would take someone with an extreme case of cognitive dissonance to say, okay, well, this is, I'm doing something, but I'm going to damn the exact action that I'm doing. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing in these verses is He is showing us, subhanAllah, from a psychological perspective, from a social perspective, why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was no incentive for him to claim to be a prophet, whilst not being a prophet. That he doesn't claim to be an angel. And by the way, in the same surah, in the beginning of the surah, they said, the Qurayshis, وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْنَا مَلَكٌ. Why didn't the angel come down to us? And then Allah rebuked them. You know what He said? وَلَوْ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مَلَكًا لَقُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ ثُمَّ لَا يُنظَرُونَ. He said that if we had revealed an angel, the matter would have been settled and they would not have been given any respite period. In other words, if Allah had given someone such a blatant sign as an angel coming down from the sky, and they decided to reject it, they wouldn't have even had the test of the world. They would have just gone straight to hell, because it's such a deep thing to see an angel come down. So, and then it says in the next verse, وَلَوْ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مَلَكًا وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ مَلَكًا لَجَعَلْنَاهُ رَجُلًا وَلَلَبَسْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ يَلْبِسُونَ. And if we have made him an angel, we would have made him a man. Because why? So it would have made them even more confused. So this is really incredible, because it shows you all of the possibilities, and it's telling you why all of these possibilities are not possible. So the Prophet Muhammad has no incentive except that he was a true prophet, and basically he was completely sincere, and the Qur'an is making that clear with these arguments.
So, bro, in the meantime, I'm going to reflect on this, and there's a few things I want to say as well. Can you find a sort of tafsir? I think it's number 3, Al-Namal. An'am, sorry, I keep saying An'am, that's it.
I like the ayn.
An'am, yeah, working on that, Okay, so what I was going to say is, with this specific verse 50, say, O Muhammad, to disbelievers, I say to you, know that I have the treasures of Allah, and thou don't have the knowledge of the unseen, and neither am I an angel. This is quite profound, because a lot of things that happens with previous nations and different religions where they had prophets, etc. And even in today's time, even this happens with the Prophet Muhammad, etc. Is that sometimes we go to extremes in our way, where we start to make it seem like the Prophet ﷺ has this extreme, ultimate knowledge, and it's important, specifically with other specific religions as well, because what happened with them was specifically that they ended up bringing, like, what they would happen is they would say, okay, they won't start off with divine. It would never start off with, okay, this specific prophet, for example, was God. It would never start off like that. What it would be, he would be praised. He would be praised so much. He would be praised so much that they would teach this to their children. And when their children grow up, they will teach their children. Yes, they'll add something onto it. And by the time, as generations go, what's happened is that prophet has become a deity. And this is really important, because we know the Prophet Muhammad is the final messenger. So when Allah tells us that the Prophet Muhammad, he doesn't know the unseen.
Exactly.
There's something he doesn't know the unseen. He's not an angel. You know what I'm saying? And this really makes us understand. And because sometimes when you're with the Prophet and you see, like, imagine if you was there at the Sahaba's time, and you see him do miracles, sometimes these tend, like, some people might say, you know what?
He must know everything.
He must know everything. Look at this miracles that he's doing. He must be divine attributes can happen. And it's happened with, like, for example, Ali radiallahu anh. Some people came and said, look, you are Allah, and he obviously, rebuked them, because he said, look, you guys are crazy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it shows us not to have too much excessive love. We have to be balanced. We shouldn't neither be like, he's just a man. Neither should we be like, he is God.
He has the knowledge of the unseen, basically.
Exactly. So this really makes me.
This is good, because I've got this here now.
Okay.
So it says from here, say, I don't tell you that I have the treasures of Allah. And then it says, meaning, I do not own the treasures of Allah or have any power over them.
Okay.
So in other words, he can't change the creation. He can't. He doesn't have power over that.
He does as he was told.
Yeah, and this is so important here. وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبَ. Yeah, nor that I know the unseen. Yeah, so he says, and say that Allah is telling the Prophet to say, I don't know everything, the knowledge of the unseen. All of that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and any other prophet would know is that which Allah gives them, and that's mentioned in Surah Al-Jinn chapter 72, the last verse. But here the point is, this is important, so that we cannot attribute all knowledge to the Prophet or any Prophet. We can't say, oh, that Prophet must know everything about everything. Yes. Which is what you were saying.
But it is, because one thing in common with many prophets is when they were asking for the last hour, and they all would say, only God knows.
Subhanallah.
Profound,
Says, I'm not an angel, right?
Yeah.
So meaning I do not claim that I'm an angel. I'm only a human to whom Allah sends revelation, and He honored me with this duty and favored me. Yeah, so he's not claiming to be extraordinary in that sense. Of course, he was extraordinary as a human being, but not supernatural. Yeah, and then he says, "In ittaba illa ma uhiya ilay." I only follow that which is revealed to me.
Yeah.
So in other words, he can never. It says here, disobey the revelation.
Yes, the revelation of the least. Yeah. Okay. Barakallahu feek, Aki. MashaAllah, that was amazing. We've learned something new. Just with these, imagine with these two verses, scholars in the past, they would derive things of words, little words, yeah? SubhanAllah, obviously we just, reflected upon these two verses and learned so much, and hope you guys have learned so much as well.
Yeah.
That's about it with today's show with React the Quran. Till next time, brothers and sisters, make sure you're tuned in, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.